Hey guys, it's Jordan Hetrick, and if you've been thinking about getting a 360 camera, but you don't want to fork out the big bucks for one of the premium action cameras, I want to show you this one, which is the Insta360 X4 Air. So in this video, I want to show you what you can actually film with a budget 360 camera. I'm going to use the Insta360 X4 Air in this video because this is Insta360's best budget 360 camera by far. And instead of going into all the different specs for this camera, I'm just going to show you some actual shots you can create using a budget camera like this. I'm also going to show you where they cut some corners on this camera and things that you would benefit from if you step up to a premium 360 camera that costs a bit more. Plus, if you're still using a traditional action camera, I'll show you a quick difference between this and a regular action camera, just so you know what you're getting into. Also, if you're watching this video close to when I'm posting it, Insta360 is having a huge sale, so you can pick up the X4 Air for about $320, which is cheaper than most of the regular action cameras, which is one of the reasons I just wanted to show you guys right now, in case you're trying to get into a 360 camera. It's a great option. I'll put a link for the X4 Air in the video description below, and there's a few bonuses for you if you buy through my link. So let's jump in and I'll show you some of the types of shots you can create with this budget 360 action camera. The first shot that I want to show you here is one of the magic things about using a 360 camera, and that is the ability to get that pole to disappear from your shots. And that's called an invisible selfie stick effect. Now you can see here when I'm walking on the beach, obviously I have the X4 Air on an extension pole. Yet when you cut over to the footage taken from the X4 Air, that pole disappears from the shot. So it appears that either someone else is filming you or your camera's just floating in the air following you. This really allows for a third person style shot where you can go out and you can film yourself, yet it doesn't really look like you're filming yourself. It's definitely not complete magic. You can sometimes see that you were holding a pole in your hand, but for the most part, that pole's not in the shot and you can get some really cool angles. And that pole disappears in the shots because you're filming with two different lenses and those two different videos are being stitched together. So what's in between the lenses actually disappears from the shot. When those two semi-spherical images are stitched together, you basically have a full 360 sphere of video. And this is also great for another reason, like you can see in this shot. If you hold the camera far away from you, because you can make it such a wide angle perspective, you can basically get a fake drone shot on not even that high of a pole. In this shot, I was just holding my camera on the 114 centimeter invisible selfie stick, but it looks like the camera is really high above in the air, following me. As you can see from these shots, even though this camera is a budget 360 camera, it still has some really nice image quality and the shots just look really beautiful. The X4 Air does a really great job recording these videos during daylight hours when there's some nice lighting. However, it doesn't do so well when the light is low towards the evening or at night. I'll show you a couple of low light comparisons versus a premium 360 camera in just a second. The next thing that I want to show you that you can do with even a budget 360 camera is to reframe your 360 videos. The X4 Air records 8K videos, so it's very high resolution, and that's when you're talking about the full 360 sphere. Now what's amazing with these 360 cameras is because you recorded everything, you can choose later what you want to show in your videos. So you can see in this video here, I can have a super wide perspective, or I can zoom in, or I can also point over this perspective, or if I want to show something that was behind me on the other side, I could also rotate the camera's view so it's looking over here. And you can actually create multiple videos out of the same video because you can use all these different perspectives, like you're seeing right here. So you can go anywhere from having a stationary shot to adding some slow movement, all the way to a really dynamic shot that zooms around all over the place and adjusts that field of view a lot. So you can be really close, or you can be super far out, like tiny planet view. And the X4 Air records 8K 360 video, which is about as high as any of the 360 cameras on the market right now, even including those premium ones. The next thing I want to show you on the X4 Air is the stabilization. And you can see as I'm walking towards this lifeguard tower, there's no movement in the shot. And that's because it's got really great stabilization. And this is something you can also get with a lot of the action cameras. However, with the 360 camera like the X4 Air, you can actually rotate your view, you can change the perspectives, and also get great stabilization. So you can get that great stabilization, but you don't have to aim the camera. You can just pick out and reframe what you want out of it later. If you are a water lover, the next shot is going to be one that's going to be a decisive one for you. The Insta360 X4 Air is the only budget 360 camera that has a dive case available for filming underwater. Even though all of these 360 cameras are waterproof, once you go underwater, the curvature on the lenses affects the stitch lines and the distortion, and the shots don't come out in focus underwater. However, Insta360 makes a dive case for the X4 Air, so you can go underwater and you still get that invisible selfie stick effect. And so far, none of the other companies have even come out with that. So that's one of the benefits. I'm glad they made it for this budget 360 camera because oftentimes it's only available for the premium ones. You can see in this clip here, I filmed this with the X4 Air underwater. Using that invisible dive housing, you can get some great shots, especially at those wide perspectives. When you film those really wide perspectives with the X4 Air, it's gonna look really nice. But as you zoom in closer, because it's got a smaller sensor, it's not gonna look as good, especially in those low light scenes. and zoomed in tighter. But for a budget 360 camera like this, it's pretty amazing what you can capture underwater with the X4 Air. The fourth shot I want to show you is one where the camera is actually mounted. There are tons of places you can mount a 360 camera, like on your helmet, a bite mount, on your body, or on your equipment. And in this shot, I had it mounted to the front of a car using the Insta360 electric suction cup. And then I also had it mounted on a pole so that disappears from the shot. Now, because of some of those features that I just showed you, such as the invisible selfie stick and also the ability to reframe your shots, I was able to get a lot of creative perspectives out of this one single mounting position. And if you're filming in the daylight, that's something that the X4 is great at because it has that full 8K 360 video. So you can really capture some cool, fun travel shots or creative shots when you're just out and about cruising. The X4 Air is actually the lightest of the 360 cameras compared to the premium action cameras. That's because it doesn't have all the full features, but if you're primarily trying to mount the X4, it actually has a pretty big benefit here. Even though the X4 Air is a really light camera to mount, it isn't the best if you're into high speed or high action sports because it only records at up to 2 times slow motion when you're recording those 360 videos. So unlike some of the premium action cameras where you can slow it down up to 5 times, this is not going to get as good a slow motion. That's another one of the sacrifices that you're making by getting a cheaper camera like this one. Even though it's a budget 360 action camera, the X4 Air does have replaceable lenses. So if you damage one of these lenses by dropping it or you get a scratch on it, all you have to do is unscrew this and replace it with a new replaceable lens. It's really nice to have those replaceable lenses so you don't ruin your camera if you do scratch it. Next thing I want to show you, which really makes this the best budget 360 camera, is the Insta360 editing apps make it easy to actually transform this footage into something usable and beautiful, and they're really easy to use. So you can see here in this shot, I'm rotating around the scene, and it pretty much amazes me how this Insta360 app can actually adjust the exposure. You can see over here, it's a real dark background, so it's going to adjust it for that, whereas I turn around the other way, and it's going to adjust the exposure based on the orientation that I'm looking. It's not just exposing for the whole scene, it's actually adjusting it for whichever spot you're going to be showing in your video. On a phone or tablet, you can use the Insta360 app, or on a computer, you can use Insta360 Studio. And both of these apps have subject tracking, color grading, and tons of other professional features that make it really easy to reframe your 360 videos. So even though you are getting a budget 360 camera, you are getting premium editing tools produced by Insta360, which are the same as you'd use with all of their premium cameras. Now, like I told you guys before, Insta360 did cut some corners on the X4 Air to keep it a nice budget camera. And it's not necessarily trying to compete with the premium action camera like the X5 here. So what are you missing out on? Let me show you some of the differences. So when you look at the X4 Air compared to a premium 360 camera like the X5, the X5 has larger sensors, which is going to create improved image quality. It's also got faster processing chips, so everything's just going to work a little quicker, and it's fully featured. The X5 basically has every feature they've ever come out with, whereas they left a few out on the X4 Air. A couple of the scenarios where it's really going to stand out is, first of all, in low light scenes. The X5 has a dedicated low light video mode called Pure Video. So this is going to enhance the colors, it's going to brighten those scenes, whereas the X4 Air is going to kind of fall apart once you get into those after hours. You can see in this comparison here, the X5 footage just looks much better. That's just because it was like slightly after sunset and in a dark scene. And the X4 Air is just not designed for that. The X5 also has faster frame rates. So if you are recording those high action sports and you want slower slow motion, you can get up to 120 frames per second on the X5 versus 50 frames per second on the X4 Air. And you can see here in this slow motion wave that I shot with the X4 Air, I slowed it down 2 times, but that really wasn't enough slow motion to make this shot stand out. And if I slow it down to 5 times, you're gonna see it plays back choppy, whereas the footage on the X5 would play back smooth even at this slow motion. I don't think Insta360 really designed the X4 Air to compete with the X5, but it does offer a great way into getting a 360 camera. And in general, in daylight hours, it holds up pretty well. If you are used to using a regular action camera like the Ace Pro 2 here, I just want to show you a few of the key differences. First of all, a regular action camera has this lens cover here that's going to protect the lens from falls. So if you're out there filming and you hit it, you're not going to have to replace that. If it does get scratched, you can replace the lens cover, but you don't have to replace the lens. But it's much more durable than these exposed lenses here on the 360 camera. Using a regular action camera and a 360 camera is quite a different style also. With a regular action camera, you're framing it up as you want to see it. There's not much flexibility when you go to edit, whereas with the X4 Air, you're recording a full 360 sphere and you're going to pick out what you want to show later. So it takes a lot more editing. There are also single lens modes available here on the X4 Air. So if you do want to not have to reframe your shots, you can switch over to those, but you're just not going to get as high a quality, I feel like, as you're going to get here with the Ace Pro 2. A regular action camera is also going to give you those higher frame rates, low light video mode, and just some more advanced settings. An action cam is more tough. 360 camera gives you more flexibility. And if you're thinking about the X4 Air, it's about the same price, or right now it's actually a little cheaper with that sale that's going on. So if those are the types of shots that you want to get and you think a 360 camera is a good option, but you don't want to pay the bucks for the premium one, the X4 Air is the best budget one you can get on the market right now. If you do want to pick up the X4 Air, check out the link in the video description below. You can get a free bonus with your purchase, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a great little 360 camera. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. If you do want to check out one of the premium action cameras, check out my beginner's guide right here, and that'll get you started with one of the premium action cameras so you can understand all of those features that are available on those. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.